I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I just had my midlife crisis. Let me put you in the picture. I was a long-term Sony user. From 2016, I used several different A7 series cameras. But 1.5 years ago, something has struck me, and I bought a Nikon Z7. I was blown away how good the viewfinder was on that camera, and how ergonomically it felt in my hands. So I bought a couple of lenses, and I sold my Sony camera, the A7C Mark II, which I used at that time. And from there, it was done here. But my relationship with the Nikon Z system didn't last too long. After just 9 months, I had the thought that another system, the Panasonic Elmon system, would be much more suitable for my photography, and I could have it for much less cost. So I decided I was going to switch again. I bought the Panasonic S5D camera for photography, and also the S9 for video and everyday carry purposes. And of course I bought a couple of lenses too. It took only 4 months to change my mind again. I don't know why, but I thought I had to try the Micro Four Thirds system. So I bought an OM1 camera with a couple of lenses. And obviously that one wasn't perfect either. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I just had my midlife crisis. But there is one thing this 1.5 year long madness was good for. Now I know what I want from my camera system. One, the camera has to have a full frame sensor, because I like the look of the images coming out of this size of sensor. And also, occasionally I like to shoot with very shallow depth of field. Two, no matter how ergonomically a camera feels in my hand and how good the viewfinder is, I still prefer the lower weight and the smaller size over these properties. And believe it or not, I picked the camera what I used before this whole midlife crisis had started. I have a Sony A7C Mark II in my hand. And this is going to be my photography and video camera from now on. I came to my local woodland to check on the blue bass, just to see how they are developing. But I think they still need at least a week or two before I can come here to photograph them. So I think it's the perfect opportunity to see what's in my camera bag. I already mentioned that I'm going to be using the Sony A7C Mark II for my photography and my videos. So I'm not gonna talk about the camera itself too much. To keep the minimalist approach not just in my photos but also in my whole photography, I thought I would simplify my kit as much as possible. So in the future, for landscapes, seascapes and maybe some street photography, I'm going to be using just one lens. And my choice of lens is going to be the new Tamron 25-200 VXD G2 lens. I used the predecessor of this lens, the 28-200, quite a lot, and I was quite happy with it. So this lens was further developed, and now it can start from 25mm, and it has a better autofocus, better image quality, and overall it's better in everything. I also want to try close-up and macro photography in a minimalist style, so I need something I can use for that purposes. And I have the feeling I'm going to need very shallow depth of field to create my minimalist style macro and close-up images. So I bought a lens I used when I was using the Sony system, and this is going to be the Samyang 135 f1.8 AF lens. I really liked this lens, and it has a minimum focusing distance of 0.69 meter, which can be quite helpful to achieve those close-up images. So this is going to be my macro and close-up lens going forward in the future. I also need lenses for making these videos, and I picked Viltrox lenses for my videography. I'm going to be using the Viltrox 20mm f2.8 lens and also the Viltrox 40mm f2.5 lens for videography purposes. I picked these because they are really small and lightweight. You could see that I can fit it in my pocket easily, so I can just grab it when I need a little bit longer focal length. You can buy these Viltrox lenses for less than £100 on the used market, which is insane for what they do. For those occasions where I want to do slow motion videos, or when I have to film myself using the Sony a7C Mark II, I bought an action camera, and my pick is the DJI OSMO Nano. This is the smallest and lightest action camera available in the DJI lineup. The interesting thing about it is that it can be detached from its dock, which has the LCD display, and they can be used separately, so I can film myself with the action camera while looking at the display separately. And also, as I mentioned, this one can do 4K 120, which is required for slow motions, and the camera itself without the dock is waterproof, so it can be submerged in water. For good quality audio, my choice are the DJI microphones. Especially I'm using the DJI Mic Mini system because this is such a small microphone, and it has also a magnetic attachment option. I have two of these, so you can see one of them is here, the other one is in my hand. I use one for my Sony camera I'm filming on, and I use the other one for the DJI Nano. If you watched my previous video, then you know that my pick for filters are the K&F Concept magnetic filters. If you haven't watched the video, I'm gonna link it up there. I really like their magnetic filters. They affordable, they lightweight, and they are really good quality. So I have two sets, one for my Tamron 25-200 lens in 82mm size, and I have one set for video purposes because my Viltrox lenses, Viltrox Air lenses, have 52mm thread, so I bought a set of 52mm magnetic filters. I have a variable ND filter, I have a black mist filter, and I also have a polarizer filter for these two lenses, with these two Viltrox lenses, and they do the job brilliantly for me. What else do I have here? Obviously I have here some spare SD cards and micro SD cards. I have here a head torch, which is really important sometimes. I have here some LED lights, two of them. They are colored LED lights. You can set the color and also the brightness easily. I also have a power bank with me, which I'm using at the moment to charge my battery while I'm filming. I have a little reflector with me if I want to use natural light and I don't want to use the LED lights, then I'm use this little reflector, which is getting a little bit old now, but it still does the job. And it's really, really small, so look at this size. So I also have this magic arm from small rig with me when I'm doing macro photography. This is quite useful, can be attached to my tripod, and it can hold an LED light, it can hold a phone or even a reflector if need be. I still use the same backpacks I used last year, and they are both from Think Tank or Mindshift. This one is the Mindshift Backlife 26 liter. I really like this bag. The other one I mentioned is the Mindshift Rotation 22 liter bag. And for carrying my camera, I use Falcom's F38 system. So this is the F38 backpack clip. I really like this one. So it's very easy to attach and detach from your backpack. I'm also using the cage from Falcom. It's a dedicated cage for the Sony A7C Mark II. I use two tripods, one for photography and one for videography. My photography tripod is at the moment from a brand called Inorel, and it's the GT324C tripod. The other tripod is from KNF Concept. That's just for videography purposes. It's a small tripod which I'm using mostly when the camera is on it filming myself. So this is what I'm going to carry with me this year on my minimalist photography day outs. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, then please don't forget to leave a like down below, and if you like the content on my channel, then please consider to subscribe. See you soon, and may the light be with you all.